Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're going to be looking at spellcasting, and specifically, we're going to be looking at one of the half-casters in the game, the Ranger. Ranger spellcasting is something that a lot of people forget about. They know the Ranger's a martial, survivalist style class, and everyone knows about Hunter's Mark, but it turns out Rangers actually get up to 5th level spells. Today we'll be talking about their 2nd level spells. They get these at level 5, 2 levels after all other casters do. So it's not too far removed from the main caster functionality, and there's actually a couple really good spells in this list that you should consider taking. I've narrowed it down to a top 5, my recommendations for Rangers, so let's have a look. First of all, at the 5th spot on this list, we have Aid. Turns out Rangers have some healing magic to them, and Aid is not exactly a healing spell. It is a buff spell. You cast it on a few creatures, and they gain 5 extra hit points. These are not temporary hit points, that is a separate health bar to your main health bar. It actually increases your hit point maximum by 5. And you can upcast it later on in the game, and your hit point maximum stays this way for a while. And it stacks with temporary hit points. Normally, temporary hit points don't stack, but Aid is separate to that. It doesn't even take concentration. So overall, Aid is a great buffing spell for both yourself and your party members, just to take that extra little bit of damage, and you can even heal up to it while Aid is in effect. Now, at number 4, we have an actual healing spell, Lesser Restoration. To me, this is role-played in the sense that as a survivalist, Rangers have this ability to kind of perform their own emergency first aid in the field, but in this case, Lesser Restoration heals a disease. So they can be like medics in the sense that they can heal diseases you might get while you're in the wild. They also can heal blindness, deafness, paralysis, or even poisoning. So having a field medic style ranger is not a bad idea, especially if you don't have a prominent healer in the party. You want someone who has a restoration spell, and having the ranger take it is not a bad idea. Now, the next spell on this list is a ranger classic, Pass Without Trace. Pass Without Trace is just a good spell overall. You choose creatures within 30 feet of you, and you grant a blessing on them for an hour, where you give a plus 10 to your stealth rolls. There is no advantage involved in this. It's just a flat number boost. And normally you've got these heavy armor folks that are clunking around with low dexterities, and they're just relying on a flat d20, so averaging a 10 is not going to be cutting it during a stealth mission. Pass Without Trace bumps that up to a 20. So, even with disadvantage, you can average a 15 on your stealth checks with Pass Without Trace. Not to mention, it makes you untrackable unless someone's using magic to do it. You don't leave footprints or any sort of trail behind. It's a pretty powerful spell for stealth purposes, and Rangers automatically kind of lean into stealth anyway. They're pretty good at that, so this just makes them nigh on unfindable. Now, at number 2, we have an area of effect spell, Spike Growth. Spike Growth is a wonderful spell as long as you've got plants around you and you can cause the ground to erupt in these vines and twisted, gnarly, spiky plants effectively. The thing is that Spike Growth, it affects a pretty big area, 20-foot radius, so 40 feet in diameter, and it is camouflage. So if you cast it between you and some enemies and they don't see you casting it, they actually have to pass a perception check to notice the spikes there. Otherwise, they'll just run right through it. And when they move through the area of spikes, they automatically take 2d4 damage for every 5 feet they move. That's huge, especially if you have an ability that allows you to pull or push enemies into areas of effect. Now, obviously, if they can fly or teleport, this isn't going to help, but any creature that has to walk is going to be stuck in these spikes. They can't pass through them easily, and if they don't make some sort of effort to get around the spikes, they're just going to take all the damage in the world, and that makes spike growth a phenomenally powerful spell. Now, the last spell on the list was added in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and it is Summon Beast. Summon Beast is a cool spell. You cast it and you concentrate on it for an hour, and you summon a bestial spirit. The spirit can take three forms: air, land, or water. The air one has a 60-foot fly speed and has flyby. The land one has pack tactics and a 30-foot speed as well as a 30-foot climbing speed. And the water one has water breathing as well as a 30-foot swim speed. They have varying amounts of hit points. They have a multi-attack that kicks in if you upcast the spell. But even when you cast it at its lowest level, the cool thing about this bestial spirit is that you do not have to use an action or a bonus action or anything to command this beast. You can simply give it commands to take any action it's capable of with no action required at all. It is just a free pet that runs around the battlefield and does what you need it to do. You can use it in its air form to provide the help action for easy advantage. You can pack tactics with the land beast and, just go to town, hitting it with multiple attacks if you upcast it. Summon Beast is just a wonderful spell to put another body on the battlefield, and if the beast goes down, turns out it's just an action to bring it back. It is a phenomenal spell. If you're a Beastmaster Ranger with the new rules in Tasha's, you can have your normal Beast Companion and this one. It's a whole, it increases the viability of your action economy tremendously, and it is a shoo-in for anyone who's capable of taking this spell. Summon Beast is fantastic. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.